doing? I sure am missing you. Parents, this is actually going to be more for you this session because we need to talk about routines and schedules. First of all, schedules and routines. What are they? So right here we have a schedule. This is a daily schedule, and I know I wrote you about creating a daily schedule for your home. And this is really important because it's going to help your kids stay organized, predictability, and this is really just helping our kids in their day-to-day, and it's going to help you keep everything going smoothly at home. So this is a schedule, and in the schedule we are going to have routines. So when I talk about schedules and routines, that's the difference. The whole day plan, that's the schedule. The little parts to make everything work are the routines. Routines and schedules, they create environments that are predictable, and this helps our kids feel really secure in their learning. It also keeps their attention focused, and this is something that's so important, especially with our little ones, as they start to organize and go through those kids that are always wanting to do too much or do different things in short spans of periods. We want to help them really start to sustain their attention and build that stamina. So you're going to see, if you zoom in, that in some of my pictures that I have little suggestions. And our kids are little, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Really, 15 to 20 minutes for drawing time is a lot. So these are just recommended times in the corners. And you can see, like, I have 30 minutes for quiet time. This might be longer. If they fall asleep, they might be down for an hour. You might be down for an hour, right? We all know that the stress and the busyness is certainly wearing. So take what we need to take care of ourselves. The other thing that the schedule creates in the routines is an environment that promotes engagement. So that's what I was talking about, is it really says that during this time, this is what we're doing, so you don't need to worry about anything else. What we need to consider in our day is not any different than what I consider when I plan our day schedules at the school. But we need to consider a balance of inside, outside, active, quiet, independent, group. So your group is different because you're doing this at home, but it still needs to have that time built in where we're doing this all together. And this time is just for you. We're going to get started. Everything that you need is here. But now, sweetie, you're going to do this because mommy or daddy needs to go and take care of things over here. And that's really important too about being a family community. I really do encourage to balance the indoor and the outdoor. It is starting to get beautiful outside, and there's so much that we can do. So when we look at a schedule or a routine, the first thing that we need to think about are those balances. The next thing we need to think about is that they need to be kind of collaborated, right? Sit down as a family and decide on a schedule. What works best for your family? What works for my family is going to be different than what works for the next house. Schedules and routines need to be taught. We need to go through them and discuss what the expectations are. So let's start going. I start with a good morning and breakfast time routine. Depending on your household, you might want to include the brushing the teeth, get out of your pajamas. This is really important for all of us. We need to get out of our pajamas, get dressed, let's get our day going. So you can put it on the schedule, or you could say that's part of the routine. What is your routine like? Who gets out the bowls? Do you set them the night before when you're cleaning up the kitchen and you get the table ready, or do you get up and do it together? My family's always really enjoyed walk and talk time. I know when my girls were little, we would have a meal and then we'd go out and walk. This is when we could talk about things that are changing in our environment. Maybe we could talk about what's going on that they heard in the news. We could also collect cool things for our crafts. We used to go on treasure hunts. Most kids, when they go on their first treasure hunt with me, are a little bit confused because we go with the brown paper bag, but we collect things like pine cones and twigs and pieces of moss and cool grasses, and then come home and make pictures with them. You can collect whatever it is that you need when you're out on a walk and talk. Maybe take your phone, take some pictures of cool things that you're reading about. The other thing that I like to do in my family is having TV time scheduled. This allowed our girls, when they liked to watch different shows, they each had time slots, and so if one liked to watch Winnie the Pooh and the other wanted to watch Mermaid or one of the other shows that were on at that time, then they could balance that. So one would have the TV, and guess what? You stop some of the fights, which is really important too. One of the things that research is showing is that children need at least 45 minutes of play. And this is uninterrupted. Just let them go and play and build and let their creativity come out. So this means that you might have an area that is designated for the toys, is designated for them to build a fort and do those things. Then here we have that active time. So this is active, quiet, and I'm trying to keep that balanced as we go through the day. So now this is a book time, and I know that lots of you are tuning into Raz Kids. I shared all of the passwords, and I'm sorry because I know that I made one mistake. I hope I got that cleared up, but let me know if you have troubles getting into any of these sites. We also have books, and we have epic books. All of them are great. So this could be real books if you have lots of books, but if not, you can go online. One of the things that I would suggest that your kids, as they're developing their fine motor, which is their handwork, is once they're done a book, have them draw a picture about their book. They can post it to show their friends. That's what we're doing on Seesaw. Moving and grooving. Moving and grooving is our Just Dance, it's Go Noodle, or it's Cosmic Yoga. We need to have that movement time, and this could be a lot of fun. This could be where mom or dad, you're setting it up, or a big brother or sister, and then let the kids just dance and fun. You can check out for a little bit here and have a cup of coffee. Lunch and munch is next. Notice what I'm doing with some of my words in my schedule. Moving and grooving, lunch and munch. Early literacy, we want to build some of that fun with rhyming words and get kids listening for it. You could even go, lunch, munch, I have a hunch, it's going to crunch today. Lots of fun with those words. Now we've eaten, and we all know that after we have a meal, we like to have a rest. Quiet time. Quiet time could be looking at books, it could be puzzles, it could be listening to music, it could be where you slot in a TV time. Remember, these can move about depending on how your family goes. This was just a suggestion just so that we could go through it. Again, playtime in the afternoon. Maybe you want to work on ABCs. Now, it's really important when you're making your schedule and you're watching your kids at home, look for when they have the best stamina, when they're engaged and when they have that energy. You don't want to put something like doing their printing in ABCs in the afternoon if that's really when they don't have energy. You might want to move that to the morning. Then we go over here. I like to have crafts later in the afternoon. That is just who I am. My kids have always been like that. That's who I am. But you might want the crafts earlier in the day, or you might want to have a longer period, just depending on how engaged your kids are. I would schedule a difference between real books and books online, and then story time and bedtime. So putting those into your schedule. You can see that we make obstacle courses. We've had a lot of fun with our kids making obstacle courses, sometimes in the house, sometimes outside. You can decide what's working best and what the weather's allowing for you. Supper time. Don't forget to involve your kids in the cooking. The kids are great. They can help you with the measuring, the stirring. Remember, we were using carrot peelers and getting them peeling those carrots. They can be involved. They can be involved with setting your table and clearing the table, because don't forget, your kids have been cleaning up at school, which means they should be cleaning up at home. TV time. This can be a snuggle on the couch. Everybody's getting quieter, or it could be family game time and then story time in bed. So this is just a look at how to create a schedule and build those routines in your house to make the next little while easier. And if you have any questions about this, I'm here for you. The next videos are going to be really breaking this down and looking at what are some of those routines and activities in this schedule. For right now, friends, it's time to say bye. Have a great day.